And thank you for joining us. We start with a fire that did a lot of damage at a Gresham apartment complex.
Firefighters credit some neighbors who went door to door to get people out. It started about 11 a.m. today at the Lumina Apartments off of West Powell Boulevard. Tim Gordon found out what happened.
The fire appears to have started on the second floor of a three-story apartment building. As you can see in this video, the flames were huge as the first firefighters scrambled to get on it.
Everybody, I can't give enough credit to the first arriving companies. They made a heck of a stop on a large amount of fire.
Gresham Fire Captain Travis Souls also gives credit to neighbors who helped neighbors, people like Jacob and Lewis.
My first instinct was just trying to get everybody out, work together, me and him. So we were knocking on the doors trying to get everyone out. It's just pretty little hectic.
This was a dangerous fire that did a lot of damage. 8 units burned and 4 more have smoke damage, but everyone got out. There were 2 injuries as people evacuated from the building next door, which nearly caught fire too. We talked to a couple of witnesses who say the injuries actually happened when a woman was running down the stairway here. They say she tripped and fell into this railing, which came out. She fell down onto the ground and a man tried to catch her. Neighbor Andres Montez said his brother saw it happen and went to help.
She seemed conscious, nothing too bad, but also adrenaline does work miracles. And the guy, though, he looked like he had it rough, his eyes were red and he was just didn't know where he was at.
Gresham Fire says they were taken to hospitals for treatment. In all, about 20 trucks and engines and dozens of firefighters from Gresham and Portland kept this fire from getting worse. And as for the neighbors,
we don't like to see people put themselves into harm's way, but it also warms your heart a little bit with humanity to see people trying to do what they could.
In Gresham, Tim Gordon, KGW News.
Firefighters are mopping up a large fire in the industrial area of northwest Portland. It shut down the westbound lanes of Highway 30 when it broke out about 2 this afternoon. The highway has now reopened. The fire happened at the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers property off Highway 30. It appears the fire started in the workshop on the property. That building was destroyed along with a second, and the third was damaged before crews got a handle on the flames.
New tonight, anyone who works for the city of Portland will need to get vaccinated for COVID-19 or get an exemption or lose their job. The city sent out a letter to employees this afternoon. They say the exemptions will be allowed for medical and religious reasons that meet legal standards, but otherwise workers need to submit proof of vaccination within 2 weeks. If they miss that deadline, they'll have until October 18th to get the vaccine or be fired. The city employs about 6,800 people, and that includes police officers and firefighters.
Hospitals around Oregon are getting some help with staffing, but the number of open beds continues to shrink as very sick people with COVID fill up the hospitals. And that means some people are not getting surgeries they need. Pat Doris reports.
The Oregon National Guard arrived at Oregon Health and Sciences University to help with various non-medical staffing needs. 49 members of the Guard are on site. In Central Oregon, 65 traveling nurses, CNAs, paramedics, and respiratory therapists arrived to help the overwhelmed St. Charles medical system. Hospital leaders there estimate they've put off more than 3,000 elective surgeries as their hospital filled up with COVID patients, most not vaccinated. They are also now restricting surgeries that do not require an overnight stay because there's so little space available.
And there are,
To the north, in Longview, Mary Metcalf feels the impact of a hospital system full of COVID patients.
We're a vaccinated family, and so that's frustrating to be vaccinated and lose my spot.
Her spot involved a surgery at Legacy Emmanuel's Hospital in Portland that would repair her jaw damaged by osteoarthritis. The medical issue's not new. These are pictures of her earlier procedures on her jaw. The new surgery would require at least 1 night in the hospital as she recovered, but now there are not enough beds available.
And then I got scheduled August 31st, and then that one got canceled because the hospitals are overloaded with COVID.
And what's that like for you?
Super stressful because I've been in so much pain and so hungry, and I've lost 30 pounds in the last few months. So I'm starving, and the pain is honestly worse than the hunger. So yeah, it was devastating. I cried.
She's mostly drinking smoothies now, waiting for a new surgery date in the near future, which she expects will also be bumped back. Sometimes those who choose not to get vaccinated against COVID say it's a personal decision. But now those personal decisions are impacting a much wider community who would like to get medical care but cannot. Pat Doris, KGW News.
We know a lot of you have had surgeries that were canceled, and we'd like to hear from you. Please drop us a line at newstips@kgw.com and share your story. We'd like to know how widespread this issue is, and we may follow up with you.
Okay, now it's time to look at me. So this week, kids at a number of school districts in Oregon are going to start the school year. And for some, that is very exciting news. But for others, there comes a lot of anxiety with something like that. We spoke to some immunocompromised teachers, for instance, in the Gresham Barlow School District. They say that they're concerned about the contagious Delta variant with in-person learning and say they weren't given an option to teach online. Doug Robertson teaches 5th grade in the district. He has a 2-year-old daughter at home who is also immunocompromised with a heart condition.
Basically, if she gets it, it's going to go real bad. I can't express how scared and stressed and angry I am that I even have to be worried that I'm going to make my daughter sick because I was not given an option to do my job safely.
A spokesperson says staff had an opportunity to talk to HR about individualized accommodations. The district also has safety strategies, including masking, vaccine mandates for staff, and distancing protocol. The Oregon State Fair has returned, and the first weekend was a test case for the new outdoor mask mandate for crowded places in Oregon. On Sunday afternoon, it appeared about half of the crowd, we could say, was ignoring the mandate. Fair organizers were trying to get people to mask up. They told people to wear them as they were coming in and offered masks for people who didn't have them and reminded them again. But for some people, it just simply wasn't sinking in.
No, I'm fully vaccinated. Why should I have a mask? Why should I need a mask? You know, I did my part. I got vaccinated. I should be able to choose whether I want a mask or not.
It really takes people doing the right thing if they want this fair to continue. The best version of this classic American State Fair is only possible with your help. Please, while you're at the Oregon State Fair, please wear your mask.
A vaccine clinic was also held inside an event hall at the fair. Healthcare workers vaccinated about 50 to 60 people a day over the weekend. All 3 vaccine types are available. The fair continues next weekend at the Oregon State Fairgrounds in Salem.
The Lloyd Center Mall in Northeast Portland is back open after an electrical fire earlier this month. The fire started in a generator room in the basement of the mall, and heavy smoke spread to several other areas. No one was hurt in the fire, but the mall had to be closed down while they waited for some new equipment to repair the damage. The ice rink, though, is still closed. It needs to be refrozen, but the rest of the mall is open for business.
Tonight, the community waits for a decision in Newberg after a school board vote divided neighbors. And now 2 new symbols of defiance stand in view of a school there. Galen Etlin looks at the pushback over the last few days and how we got here.
In the heart of Newberg, this crowd fights for visibility under the unity flag.
There are about 200 to 300 people here now, maybe.
This was the scene August 24th, exactly 2 weeks after the Newberg School Board voted 4-3.
Get political symbols and divisive symbols out of our schools.
That included Black Lives Matter and pride flags. This crowd fought back for BIPOC and LGBTQ youth.
Their identities cannot be seen.
It's already hard enough being in high school.
I understand the feeling of isolation that some students can have.
David Myers grew up nearby in McMinnville. He says a Black Lives Matter flag at school would not be political to black children.
Having that opportunity to feel a community around you and community supporting you is great for children.
Newberg mother Ty Hardin Moore told the board black students do not feel safe right now.
Because my son was called a at school.
That's why a few days later, on a drizzly morning, this group came together.
When members of a marginalized population ask you for help, you just say, yes, this was what we got.
After the school board vote, Erin McCarthy and her husband Jay Bill helped build this Progress Pride flag on their farm within view of Newberg High School.
Giving voice to those who feel like at the moment they don't have one.
Members of the black community then reached out to add a BLM flag.
Our life isn't political.
Andre Miller is an activist who helped build and paint the new BLM flag, noting it is not connected to the political organization with that same name.
When we actually say Black Lives Matter on the street, we're really referring to our life as black people matter. The only divisiveness is white supremacy.
There are people of all walks of life in Newberg.
Ryan Clark with the Newberg Graphic has followed every development, reporting the school board may have broken state law when the same 4 members voted to hire outside legal counsel in a closed-door meeting.
An intensely political issue here.
District lawyers are supposed to review the symbol ban first, but with the story reaching multiple national outlets, legal heat is coming from all sides.
The ACLU of Oregon has already chimed in saying that if the ban were to move forward, there will be legal action that it's considering.
So why the big upset? Studies by the Trevor Project show lesbian, gay, and bisexual youth are 5 times more likely to attempt suicide because of bullying and lack of support. And a study in JAMA Pediatrics shows black children under 13 are twice as likely to die by suicide compared to white children. To these kids, a flag is more than a flag.
Showing that they are worthy of being alive.
So seeing something like this saves lives, you feel?
Literally saves lives, yes.
A fight under the unity flag. In this town, not so united. Galen Etlin, KGW News.